Welcome back to Rewriting My Story. I'm so grateful that you decided to spend a little time with me today. Wherever you are, whether you're driving, cleaning your house, sitting in silence, or simply trying to make it through another day, I pray that something said in this episode reminds you that God is still with you. Today, we're talking about something that I believe every one of us is searching for, but not everyone is willing to protect. The title of this episode is Peace Looks Good on Me. I used to think peace would come when everything around me settled down, when people finally understood me, when the problems disappeared, or when life became easier. But I learned that peace isn't found in perfect circumstances. Peace is found in the presence of God. So if you're ready, let's have an honest conversation. Welcome to Rewriting My Story, the podcast where healing meets growth and every chapter becomes an opportunity to rise stronger than before. I'm your host, and each week we dive into real motivations about resilience, self-discovery, faith, purpose, and the journey of becoming the best version of ourselves. Whether you're overcoming setbacks, learning to love yourself again, or stepping into a brand new season, this space is here to remind you that your story is still being written and you hold the pen. So take a deep breath, lean in, and let's keep writing our stories together. There was a season in my life when I wore stress like it was part of my identity. I carried everyone's problems as if they belonged to me. I answered every accusation. I defended every misunderstanding. I tried to fix every broken relationship, and somewhere along the way, I lost piece of myself trying to keep everyone else whole. I thought that was love. I thought that was strength. But God began showing me the constantly living in survival mode was never His design for my life. Sometimes we become so familiar with chaos that peace feels uncomfortable. We don't know what to do when there isn't an emergency to fix, a fire to put out, or a battle to fight. We become addicted to proving ourselves, explaining ourselves, and carrying burdens that God never asked us to carry. Then we wonder why we're exhausted. We wonder why we're anxious. We wonder why our joy has disappeared. The truth is, peace requires surrender. It requires trusting God with situations we cannot control. It requires believing that God can defend us better than we can defend ourselves. That's difficult because our human nature wants to step in. We want the last word. We want people to know our side. We want justice to happen on our timeline. But God reminds us over and over again that vengeance belongs to Him. Our assignment isn't to control every outcome. Our assignment is to remain faithful. I've learned that protecting my peace doesn't mean I love people any less. It simply means I love God enough to obey when He tells me to let something go. Sometimes protecting your peace means walking away from arguments that don't deserve your energy. Sometimes it means setting boundaries with people you love. Sometimes it means saying no without feeling guilty. Sometimes it means accepting that not everyone will understand your heart, and that's okay because God does. One of the hardest lessons I've learned is that not everyone deserves access to the healed version of you. There are people who only knew you broken. They knew the version of you that constantly apologized, constantly overextended yourself, constantly rescued everyone else while neglecting yourself. When they meet the healed version of you, they often say, "You've changed." That's right, I have. Healing changed you. Growth changes you. A relationship with God changes you. People may mistake peace for distance. They may mistake your boundaries for pride. They may mistake your silence for weakness. But not every opinion deserves a response. Not every misunderstanding needs an explanation. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is remain silent and allow God to speak through your life instead of your words. Jesus told his disciples, "Peace I leave with you. My peace I give unto you. Not as the world gives, do I give unto you. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let it be afraid." Think about that for a moment. Jesus didn't promise a life without storms. He promised peace in the middle of the storm. That's the kind of peace I want. A peace that remains steady even when life feels uncertain. A peace that allows me to sleep at night because I know God is awake. A peace that reminds me that I don't have to carry tomorrow because God is already there. Maybe today you're asking yourself why you feel so drained. Let me ask you something. What is costing you your peace? Is it constantly trying to make everyone happy? Is it a relationship that only brings confusion? Is it fear? Is it comparison? Is it trying to control things that belongs in God's hand? Whatever it is, I encourage you to lay it at his feet today. God never intended you to carry what only he has the strength to hold. I've realized something beautiful. Peace actually looks good on me. Not because my life is perfect. Not because I figured everything out. Peace looked good on me because I finally stopped wearing anxiety like it was my identity. Peace looks good on me because I trust God more than I trust my own understanding. Peace looks good on me because I've learned that my value isn't determined by who stays, who leaves, who applauds me, or who misunderstands me. My identity is found in Christ, and that's enough. I didn't become cold, I became careful. I didn't stop loving people. I simply stopped sacrificing my peace to prove my love. I still pray for people. I still forgive people. I still choose kindness, but I no longer allow chaos to rent space in my heart. That space belongs to God. If you're listening today and you've been carrying more than you were ever meant to carry, this is your reminder that you can let it go. You don't have to have every answer. You don't have to win every battle. You don't have to convince everyone of your intentions. Rest in knowing that God sees what people don't. He knows your heart, and his approval is the only approval you ever really truly need. So today, choose peace. Protect your peace. Fight for your peace. Pray for your peace. And never apologize for your peace. Because the same God who brought you through every difficult season didn't bring you this far just to leave you in constant worry. He brought you here so you could experience the fullness of his presence. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I pray this episode reminded you that peace isn't something you have to chase. It's something you receive from God and choose to protect every single day. As you go throughout this week, I want you to remember this simple truth. Peace looks good on you. Not because life is always easy, but because God is always faithful. If this episode encouraged your heart, share it with someone who may be carrying more than they should. Let's continue rewriting our story together. One step of faith, one act of obedience, and one peaceful decision at a time. Until next time, keep trusting God, keep protecting your heart, keep choosing healing, and never forget that your story isn't over because God is still writing it. Be blessed, and I'll see you next episode.